This is a 2020 Honda CRV. It has all-wheel drive and it's the hybrid. And today we're going to review it.
We'd like to thank our friends at Luther Honda of Mankato for loaning us this beautiful 2020 Honda CRV hybrid for our review today.
Hey folks, I'm Rob.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are
Two Guys in a Ride.
And say, Nate, what are we taking a look at today?
Hey, today folks, we are taking a look at this beautiful 2020 Honda CRV hybrid.
That's right. But before we do, if you want to keep up to date with all the new cars and trucks and SUVs out there, plus you want to learn about how to operate all the techno wizardry and infotainment systems in the new cars, and you like cool collector car stories,
take a moment to hit that subscribe button down below and ring that bell notification up above so you never miss a video.
That's right. So what do you say, Nate?
Hey, let's go for a ride. So welcome to our detailed video about the driver's information screen and the infotainment screen. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the driver's information center. It is a push start. All right, and so up here on the dashboard, of course, we've got a battery level indicator and we've got a fuel tank indicator. And so this will show you how much charge is left in your battery and of course how much fuel is left in your tank. In the center are the things that we can change. Okay, so to do that, we're going to use these buttons right here and this button here. Before I do that, this button here is just volume for your infotainment system. This is your phone on, phone off, and also a back button. And this is your voice command button, which can be used to run pretty much anything on the infotainment screen. So it can do navigation, it can do your music, it can do your climate control. Okay, so going back up here to these buttons right here. Now, for the most part, we're going to use the info button to select something up here, and then you use the left and right arrows to scroll to different menus. All right, so you're going to use this information button to select the menu that you want, and you're going to use basically the left and right cursors. Occasionally you can use the up and down, but if that happens, it'll show you an up and down arrow in your screen telling you that you can use it. For the most part, up and down accesses the different sources of your media. So if I press up, I get AM, FM, Bluetooth, XM radio, and so forth. Okay. Now I'm going to start by pressing this info button right here. Okay, and the first screen I come to is it's a meter. And what happens is this car, as you're driving, if you're charging, the car dips, and the first two dash lines dip below the two outer lines. And if you're using power, it goes above. It's just a graphic. So let's go to the information button, and we're going to use the right arrow. This icon will tell you where you're getting your power from, which wheel it's going to, and if you're using battery versus the engine, okay, or a combination of both. Okay, we'll press the info button again, go to the next one. Okay, this one is fuel. So it gives you your range and it gives you your average fuel for trip A. Okay, and if I go to the information button again, and I go over one more, this is another bar graph. Okay, it shows your miles per gallon for like trip 1, trip 2, trip 3, every time the car's been started and then stopped again. Okay. And I'll press the information button again. Honda's really made this whole system really simple to use. One button here, and then a push to get to the icon. This is navigation. Navigation here right now shows a compass, but if I had a course plotted in the navigation, the turn-by-turn would show up there. Okay, we'll go back here, and we'll go. This is the driver attention level. So if you're weaving on the road or driving sort of erratically, this bar is gonna color up, and then it'll give you a message that maybe you should pull over and rest for a while. Okay, we'll press the information button again. We'll go to the next one. Press the enter button. Okay, here is our tire pressure monitoring system. Okay, we have to have the vehicle moving for that to show up. Okay, we'll press the information button again. We'll go to the wrench. The wrench here, we've got oil life. Okay, it tells you when you need to change your oil. Press the information button again. Now we can go to music. And in here, you kind of get the whole display. So not only do you get your sources up here, now you notice the up and down arrows. So now, because I have the up and down arrows showing, I can scroll through my different sources. And then you have your left and right arrows indicating that if you go to the right, you're going to go to the next track or your next song. And if you go backwards, it goes back a song if your app allows that. Now, my Pandora app doesn't let me go backwards and repeat a song, so it only goes forward. But that all shows up there. But they put the arrows in so that you know what's going on. Okay, I'm going to press the information button again, and we're going to go to phone. And when I click on that, then we have my phone shows up. And if I had any phone calls or messages or whatever, then I could access them there. Okay, we'll press the information button again. And then this one is where you would reset from like kilometers per hour to miles per hour, gallons to liters, and so forth. Okay, and you would just press and hold that enter button to change it. I'm not, of course, going to do that, so I'm just going to press the information button. And if I click to the right one more time, we're back to the beginning. Okay, now above here, you're going to see a charge and power graph. So when you're deaccelerating or braking, it goes into the charge zone. The farther to the left it goes, the more it's charging. Blue band is power. So you're using battery power, you're using gas up there. So that's what that's there for. And then, of course, your digital miles per hour. Okay, on the left side here, it says EV ready. So it's ready to drive in battery power. The economy mode is on. That's why the green leaf is showing up. And then you have your gear selector. Over here on the far right, you've got your adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist systems that are set to go. Now, I can also add the lane keeping assist guidelines so I can see them. Okay, and so this does have lane departure and lane centering. So it'll keep you in the middle of the lane, and it will actually move the steering wheel, give you a little warning, audible and visible on the dashboard if you're straying over the lines without your turn signal on. Okay, down below you've got the temperature, outdoor temperature, which is a lovely 93 degrees today, your odometer, and then of course another clock. And you also have one in your infotainment screen. All right, now let's take a look. We've covered these buttons. Let's take a look over at the right. Okay, and on the right side here, you've got a heated steering wheel button, which is awesome in cold climates. This turns on both your adaptive cruise control and your lane keeping assist at the same time. Okay, if you push that one and then you push this one, that's where you get the guidelines showing up. Okay, these are all your cruise control. This is fully adaptive cruise control with low speed follow. So you got your gaps that are here. You got cancel in the middle. You got set and then resume and then plus and minus once your cruise control is engaged. Okay, you do of course have paddle shifters back here with the CVT transmission if you want to seem like you're driving a car that can shift. So you do notice small changes, not a whole lot. Okay. That being said, we're going to step over to the infotainment screen and take a look at those. This system comes with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, XM radio, HD radio, AM and FM, and has a 330-watt sound system with 9 speakers, including a subwoofer. And the sound is really, really nice, as you can imagine. Basically, the way this is laid out is, you've got all these little tabs here, and these are all things that you can click on to go to. On the left here, you've got some dedicated shortcuts that never disappear, of course. The home button, which is what the screen you're seeing here. You've got a shortcut to maps, and I really like these maps. This has got a, I forget what it's exactly called, but it's like a hydrostatic ultra clear screen. And it's really nice. Rob and I were noticing when we were driving, it's very sunny. It's 93 degrees right now. And we were in full sun, and this wasn't faded at all. I mean, it was really crystal clear. Really, really, really nice. I do like the little 3D effect with the car kind of floating above the ground. And so you got that. You also got a shortcut to audio. You've got a shortcut to just your phone. So for like calling and messages and that kind of stuff, you've got a back button. And then, of course, you have a brightness or dimness. Now, if I press it once, it gives me the option to do it manually. Oh, little delay in the touch there. We'll try that again. There we go. Now, if I press this again, it'll go to like a night mode. If I press it again, it'll go to like completely off. Now, everything operates. It's just that the screen brightness is turned so far down that you can't see it. If you got navigation running, it'll still show up on your driver's information screen. Music will still play. You just won't see it on this screen, but you can always adapt to show it over here on your driver's information screen. Okay, so I'm gonna press it again and the screen comes back on. Okay, so those are your shortcuts. You do have a power on and off and a volume knob. That's physical, which I really like having that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get into just a couple of these and take a look at them. So first of all, we'll click on navigation. Now you're going to see the same map you saw before. Up on top, you've got of every screen that you go to, this top bar stays the same. You always see your temperature settings for driver and passenger. You always have a menu button that applies to the app that you're using. Okay, and let's see if I can go back here a minute. And you have a source button. Okay, the source has to do with where your media is coming from. So those are always there. So let's take a look at navigation for a minute. If I want to go somewhere, click on menu, I can click on where to, I can mute it, I can hit stop, I can hit where am I if I don't know where, exit services, so which is really nice. It tells you like what's at that particular exit. I mean, I have an app on my phone that does that, but I've not seen it integrated into navigation in a car. And of course, if you want to take a detour from something, you can do that. Down arrow indicates there's a few more things. So you got map layers, an eco route, and then settings for the map. Okay, now under settings is where you can do things like you can decide what vehicle that you want to have showing. So if you want to have that one showing instead, that you can. That's kind of a fun thing. We'll hit save. Okay, you can have the driving map view. So you have 3D, which we're set on, north up or track up. Okay, we're going to just leave that. Map detail. You can have more, normal, or less. Okay, map theme, which would be that's default. If I go to Honda's theme, it gets a little different. If I go to Belgium, it gets a little different. Okay, so it basically just changes the look a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Just the little things you can play with. So hit cancel there. All right, and there's down arrow, of course, indicates there's more down here. So you can have installed maps if you want. Right now you've got all of these installed maps, and if you installed any more, they would show up in here. So you can always check what you actually have installed. Okay, let's go here, dashboards. On this one, what happens, this is the screen we saw earlier, right? If I click to my white arrow there, I get a little different display down here. Okay, so these are obviously something that will show up as you're actually driving. Okay, so there's just two different views. So we'll just hit cancel. We want to leave it the way it was. But just lots and lots of details and this is where you set them all for your navigation. Okay, so that's the important thing to remember. All right, if I hit that little triple line thing, I can restore the map to normal. So if you really mess up, you can just go there and hit restore, and it will set it all back to factory defaults. Okay, well, let's go back and back and back and back and back again. Okay, this time I'll just go to home. How about that? All right, here's your phone. So my phone is connected, but not my calling ability. Well, no, I did hook it up for call. So my phone is all set up here, and if I had a call history here that was linked in, I could then see those here, and I could enter in speed dial numbers. Okay, and those scroll down here. So you notice this little like peak right here. If I touch this, it will give me more display down on the bottom. Okay, and you'll see this a couple times throughout the different screens that we look at, and that's what that does. Sometimes it's left to right, sometimes it's up down. Okay, I'm gonna go back home again. Settings. Okay, now there's just a lot of stuff under here, but if you want to go anything like, if you want to change your camera a little bit, so I can look at my rear camera, and I can have fixed guidelines on or off, dynamic guidelines on or off, and I can have a parking sensor display, and I can set it to split view or normal view. I like the split view, and I'll show you right now what that looks like. So if I go to reverse, okay, and I see this now, so I can see my parking sensors. This is not a 3D camera. So what it's showing you is the parking sensors. And I'm going to show you a little clip when Rob walked around the vehicle earlier, and you'll see the different sensors lighting up as it senses him going around the vehicle. So I like that view. You can turn off the rear parking sensors right there if you want, or on. You do have 3 different views. You got the wide view, you got the more angled view, and then you've got sort of the top-down view that maybe would be really helpful if you had a hitch or something. Okay, it does have dynamic swivel guidelines. Okay, and it's really helpful if you get this car to take a little bit look of your literature and see what these lines, what dimensions they are exactly. So it really helps you when you're backing up, knowing how close you can get. It does have a little bit of a fisheye look, no matter what view we're in. But I think that the widest view here is the little narrower view, I'm sorry, is a little bit better. Okay, so we'll go back home here a minute. Oops, got to put it in park first. Okay, so that's what those do. Let's go back. If I want to do the cross traffic monitor, that could be on or off. I don't really know why you'd ever want to shut that off. I sure wouldn't, but it is there. Maybe if you're pulling a trailer or something that's constantly interfering, then maybe perhaps that would be the time. All right, let's go down here. Here's where you would go in here to hook up a Bluetooth or phone to set it up, or select which phone you're going to have hooked to the system if you've got multiple phones. If you want to look at just your phone specifically, you can click on here, and then you can select either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So if I do Apple CarPlay, okay, I don't have a cable, so my phone isn't connected, but if it did, it'd be right up there, and then I could use the Apple CarPlay. Now, if you haven't used Apple CarPlay before, the really cool thing is there are a whole bunch of your apps on your phone that will show right up on your screen. I mean, I'm talking, Pandora, Apple Music.
Navigations.
Anything with navigation, yeah. I mean, I've yet to run across a navigation app that doesn't work with these systems. I mean, it's just amazing. And it just shows from your phone right up here. Now, this car has built-in, but let's say 4 years down the road, your maps are out of date and you don't want to update. You can just use Apple CarPlay. Okay. All right, let's go back to this screen here. And we're going to go up to audio. So now under audio, of course, right now it's showing stuff from my phone. Yeah, I can go forward or backwards. Well, I can't go backwards because this is Pandora and it won't let me. But if you had a paid version, then you could. Okay, you can hit your source button and you can get, whether Bluetooth or AM or FM right there. You got a play button, you got a pause button. And then if I go to menu, I can hit sound. Get bass, middle, treble. I can adjust the subwoofer and the fading and the balance, or I can control the speed volume compensation, which if you haven't done that before, I really like it. You set your volume, and then as the car picks up speed, the volume increases. As you slow down, it decreases. And the whole idea is to keep the sound of music about the same to your ears, so it compensates for road noise. Okay, let's go down here to info. Now, under here, you've got a couple of things. First, I got 2 tabs up here. You have current drive and history of trip A. So under current drive, there is nothing listed right now because we're not moving. Previous drive, here I got 25.5 miles per gallon, but we've been putzing around a parking lot, so it's not going to be great right there. Tells you your range. If I go to history of trip A, now I get a bunch more things here. I've got the current, the current drive that it measured. Okay, and then I've got the previous one before that, the 2 trips before that, and 3 trips before that. So it kind of keeps a log. So if I go to menu, and trip computer is what we were already on. So if I go to, say, clock and wallpaper, okay, now I can just have the clock display. Okay, if I go up here, and I select, let's say, system device information, this is where I can get information on my actual infotainment screen. If I need to know what version do I have. I did not program in that VIN number, just so you folks know. That's just what came from the factory. I think some technician fell asleep. Moving on from that item. All right, let's go down here. The Honda Link allows you to do a bunch of things. It's most useful right on the phone because you can stop your car. You can find locate your car. I believe you can see what the range is on your car as far as how many miles you have left to go, that kind of stuff. On some of them, depending on the car, you can set your climate control system on the inside before you step into the car so it can cool down or heat up. Okay. And then, of course, you have an app list. Now, what'll be, you can install certain apps here, and you'd have to look up what apps you can install. But there are some that you can go right on the system itself, so it doesn't have to go through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Okay, and those basically are going to become widgets. Okay, so they're just the small pictures, right? All right, so we'll go back up here for a minute. Okay, so I want to go back and take a look at the settings one for a minute, because there were a couple things in there that I'd like to point out. First of all, let's go to vehicle. So here you have your tire pressure calibration, your driver assist system setup, meter setup, driving position setup, keyless access setup, lighting setup, and then door window setup, power tailgate setup, and maintenance info. So let's go back here to the meter setup. Okay, adjust outside temperature display. So if you want to make it feel a little hotter, right now it says 93 degrees. If I press +3 and I say yes, it now is 96. So, however, you can also go and say, well, 93 seems a little bit cold, so I'm going to go to let's go one more. Let's go -5. Now if I do this, it's only 88 degrees. So I don't know why anyone would ever want to not see the real temperature, but folks, if you want to play with it, it's right there. Now I'm going to be nice and I'm going to put it back where it was. So that's ±0. Okay. We can, let's see, trip A reset timing. So it'll actually, you can actually have it reset itself, like every time when it's refueled or the ignition is off or a manual reset, which is interesting. Okay, we'll go to the back button here in a minute. Adjust alarm volume. Okay, so when something goes off in the car here to alarm you, you can set the volume. And then fuel efficiency backlight, turn-by-turn display, new messages, reverse alert tone, speed and distance units. Okay, oh my goodness, there's just so many. Okay, driver assist system setup. Here's where your safety systems are. So this would be a good one to know. You got forward collision warning distance, long, normal, or short. All right. You just click on it. So I've got adaptive cruise control forward detect beep. So when it catches the car in its camera and that's what it locks onto, it can beep for you or not beep. Right? Blind spot info. Audible and visual alert are off. And if I just click it, it'll just say, do you want yes or no? And of course I'm going to say no because I want it to be both. Okay. Lane keeping assist, suspend beep. So the car does beep at you if it's on. If you go over the lane, and that gets a little annoying at times. So usually that's set to off, but you can turn it on. Road departure mitigation setting. Okay. So you want it narrow, normal, wide, or warning only. And my guess, having not tried it, but my guess is wide would give you a little bit of more play before it adjusts your steering wheel, and narrow would give you a very confined space, and it would correct you more often. Okay. If I go down one more, driver attention monitor. Okay, so tactile and audible alert. So the tactile is going to be a vibration in your steering wheel. And then you get an audible alert or just a tactile alert or off. All right, so if I go down here and I go to driving position setup, I can then set the memory position link. Okay, and I have that on or off. Of course, it's on. All right, so under lighting setup here, you can adjust all of your different lights. So you got interior light dimming time, headlight auto off timer. So if you want to set that, you can go from 60 seconds to 0 seconds before the lights actually turn off. Okay, auto interior illumination sensitivity and auto headlight on with wiper on. Okay, we'll go back here a little bit. And of course, I won't go through all these, but you got power windows setup, power tailgate setup, maintenance info. We'll look at that one quick. And it just tells you what your engine oil life is. And you can see that on your driver's information screen as well. Okay, I'm going to go back one more here, and we're going to take a look at system. Okay, configuration of instrument panel. All right, let's click on that. All right, so you can configure the order of the icons as they appear. There are 3 different configurations that it allows you to save. So you could have one for each driver if you wanted. Okay, so this is configuration 3 currently. So I can add something, I can swap configurations, I can delete or edit the order. So let's just go to edit order for a minute. Okay, this is a bit tricky. You have to do a hard click on the arrow to get it to move. And then a light tap to select something else. So if I want to move this one, I just do a light tap and then a hard tap. Okay, so you can rearrange the order of the icons if you want. Okay, you can also delete them if you want. And it wants you to know which one you want to delete. You click on the X, it'll ask you, do you want well, there it did it. Didn't even ask me. It just said, okay, we'll take it out. Okay, so we're going to hit OK. Now, we're going to go back to default. Yep, so you messed up, want it back the way it was. There you go. Okay, I can add something. Okay, so currently, this one is not in there. So I can add that one. It won't let me add these 2 for some reason, but that's fine. And then I can scroll down here, and I can add my SMS and mail. Hit OK. And now those show up in my driver's information screen. Okay, if I swap configurations, I can make configuration 1, configuration 2, configuration 3, and I can swap between them. Okay, so let's just press OK. So you can customize that. Display settings. I can change the brightness, the contrast, or the black level of them. And if I do the background color, I can change that. Let's do a blue-green. And what that does is affects this screen right here. And now it's changed a little bit. If I go down here, I got touch panel sensitivity, guidance volume, text volume, voice recognition volume, meter volume. Just, oh my gosh, so many. Okay. And then I can click on the display tab. And so that's where I can change the touch panel sensitivity, the background color, and then the display settings. So again, brightness, contrast, and black level, which we saw in one other area as well. Okay, so I mean, just so many things on here that you can adjust and customize. I do like the fact that there's a power on-off and a volume knob, and as well as your menu and your source button always stay up, as well as your time, and then it shows you your battery level on your phone, that you're connected by Bluetooth, that you got a Wi-Fi signal, and then the temperature. All right, so I hope that has been helpful. Thanks for watching.